Thanks for tuning in. We back. This is episode 2. This is your host with the most, Coach West. We're going to jump straight off into it, man. Last week's scores, Beach City Giants. It was a consensus through both teams. It was 38-0. So a lot of people on the boards was 44, probably more than 44. But the consensus with both teams, I think Coach Banks and with Beef 12, they both conceded to say 38-0. So that's what we're going to call it here on the show, 38-0 Beach City Giants. We go up to the desert, high desert Phoenix actually, and watch them play the San Diego Silverbacks. Halftime it was 18-8 while we were still in the building. They wasn't really moving the ball offensively from the Silverback side. So I was like, hey, we're going to watch to the third quarter, and, we pretty much got out of there, and I guess the floodgates opened when we left because it was 18-8 late in the third, and the final score there was 32-8, High Desert Phoenix. I actually got some stats from that in a minute. We'll bring those stats in, but let's finish these scores. The Disciples hosted the Desert Warriors, had a power outage. Y'all know how that goes. So we either going to play that game, or at least that's what they're saying. They're going to play the game. Right now on the boards and in the ranking system is a tie. But right now, both teams are 1-0-1. As far as the rankings go into that game is complete. But the score at the time the power went out was 18-8. I also got a few stats from that game coming right up. But before we go any further, we're going to take it back to last week with the recap with Randy. Here's 90 seconds with Randy.
So here we go. PCF Seeds 2018 season. Week 2. Week 2 went pretty much as I predicted. The Beach City Giants went to play the LA Knights, an easy win by 38 or 44 to nothing. I heard the quarterback of the LA Knights got injured in the third quarters, and then the game was called. So I heard he's okay. So wish him well. The other game was I predicted the High Desert Phoenix, where he played the San Diego Silverbacks at home. Won by 32-8. So the Phoenix came back after the first game loss against the Warriors. The game of the week was between the Desert Warriors, number 1, was ranking number 1, but against the Disciples. Ended at halftime because the lights didn't come on, like everybody knows. So the score was 18-8. So Disciples scored first. Warriors, we had a good kickoff return right after, brought us to the probably the 30. We scored and converted for 2. Disciples had a great passing game as I predicted, and it's going to be a top-rated team for the rest of the season. Disciples going to play the Beach City Giants next Saturday. So the Giants had an easy win against the Knights. I haven't seen the Giants play a tough team, so I saw the Disciples play. So I'm giving the Disciples the edge on the win against on Saturday against the Giants. The Phoenix will host the LA Knights. So, like I said, the LA Knights coming with 2 losses. Phoenix will win the game. The Desert Warriors, we are traveling to Temecula to play the Soccer Warriors, which Coach Flores always able to put up a great organization year after year. So I'm expecting a tough game. I'm giving the Desert Warriors or Inland Empire Warriors the edge and win. Then the other game is the LA Phantoms are going to play the San Diego Silverbacks. San Diego Silverbacks also coming out of the 2 losses in a row. So I'm giving the LA Phantoms the win. So for next Saturday, I have the Disciples over the Giants, Phoenix over the Knights, Desert Inland Empire Warriors over the Soccer Warriors, and the Phantoms over the San Diego Silverbacks.
And we're back. I told you earlier that we had some stats for you, and we're going to jump straight off up into them. So straight from the San Diego Silverbacks and High Desert Phoenix game, we got a few stats that came in from the High Desert Phoenix. Starting running back over there, DJ Franklin, took one to the house for 75 yards on a punt return and had one rushing touchdown for 15 yards. Your boy Vincent Strange, a.k.a. Mr. It's Free, had him one tub for 20 yards. Robert Sterling, starting quarterback, had one TD pass for 20 yards, one rushing touchdown for 21 yards, and he had an interception on the defensive side of the ball as well. So those are the stats that came in from that game. Got a few more stats for you in that old Disciples and Desert Warriors game. From the Disciple side, your boy Fiesta had 2 tubs. On the defensive side, your boy Ray Williams had an interception for 60 yards. And a guy named Gentry over there had a punt block for a safety. And that's the stats that came in this week. Hopefully we get more stats next week so we can really start looking at these teams and seeing who actually the stars of these teams. It's a lot of talk, and ball don't lie. But you got to have the stats, and it got to be on film. Just like that, we're back. We're going to head off into these rankings. A lot of y'all have already saw them, whether you're in semi-pro talk or any of the semi-pro boards that, you know, pretty much the Pac West and the PCFC is pretty much the most talked about teams in. Like I said, there was a lot of confusion week 1 when we dropped them. It was a little bit of confusion week 2. And I think, you know what I'm saying, that the people who needed to know how the ranking system worked has found out. And, you know, of course, from my understanding, I mean, I know I'm in the rankings, and it's 4 to 5 other people that's in the rankings to give us an unbiased ranking system here for Southern California football. So without further ado, most of y'all saw them already, but B City Giants is holding the #1 spot, followed by the Disciples at #2, the Desert Warriors at 3, West Coast Lions at 4, the Moreno Valley Mercury at 5, the Arizona Fury is 6, High Desert Phoenix is holding down the #7 spot, followed by the SoCal Warriors, followed by the at #9, the Cali Untouchables, followed by us, #10, who else? The Los Angeles Phantoms, #11, the SoCal Danger, #12, the SoCal Rhinos, #13, the Compton Panthers, 14, San Diego Silverbacks, and at 15, the LA Knights. Like I said, it's real easy of how these rankings came about with the point system that we have. Everything is ranked from, hey, your highest team being 15 points to your lowest team being ranked at 1 point. So, you know, really don't got to keep explaining the rankings. Those are the rankings for this week. Win, 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 and win again. Y'all know it ain't nothing like Saturdays. It ain't nothing like Saturdays, and y'all know what Saturdays mean for us. It's game day. It's game day, baby. So let's go and get off into these matchups this week. Game of the week. We're going to get into that one first every time on this show. Game of the week. It's the most hyped game. This is probably going to be the most looked at game. #1, Beat City Giants hanging on versus going to play the #2 Disciples. I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking that the Disciples are hosting the Beat City Giants this week. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me after you see the show. But from what I think, and again, solely on what I think the Disciples are hosting the Beat City Giants. The next game to watch is a team that we haven't saw this fall in any competition. But last year in the fall, PCFC, they was one game away from winning the championship. Well, actually, both teams, I mean, not winning the championship, but going to the championship. Actually, both teams that we're about to talk about was one game away from going to the championship, and that's both Warrior teams. The Desert Warriors is going down to Temecula to play against the SoCal Warriors. And if I said Temecula wrong, hey, I'm from the South. I don't give a damn. Temecula. But they're going to Temecula to play against the SoCal Warriors. Rank 8 right now in the GVA ranking poll. So a lot of people is pulling for the Desert Warriors in this. Like I said, both teams could have easily been in the championship game last fall in the PCFC. But, you know, hey, things happen. Like we said earlier, you got to win. You got to win, and you got to win. So other than that, it's going to be another game to watch this week, actually. Like I said, the Desert Warriors, man, don't sleep on them. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't sleep on the Desert Warriors, but don't sleep on the SoCal Warriors. You know, take everything with a grain of salt. Sweating under the lights, but yeah, don't sleep on neither one of those teams. That's like my second favorite game this week. Actually, out of the 4 games is up there. Out of the game that I'm gonna be coaching in, but yeah, that's gonna be a game to watch. The next game on the radar is the Los Angeles Knights in the High Desert Phoenix. And if you followed the PCFC last year, you know the Phoenix lost to the Knights in regular season, 12-8. At what the LA Knights play at. Fast forward to the end of the season, High Desert Phoenix went to the championship game against the Los Angeles Knights, and I think it was 48-14. So this has the potential. It's not the game of the week. You know, it's not the game of the week. Let's be clear. It's not the game of the week because of where they stand at this season. But it's going to be interesting to see how this game pans out, being a basic rematch of the championship game. Will the Phoenix go on and take this new rivalry to 2-1? Or will the LA Knights get their first win of the season and boost up to 1-2 this season? Who knows? Hey, but like I said, it ain't the game of the week, but like I said, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how that game pan out. Because right now, the LA Knights is ranked 15. The High Desert Phoenix is ranked 7. A lot of people are still sleeping on the High Desert Phoenix with that being said, because they feel like last year wasn't enough competition in the PCFC, which brought in new teams this year to bring up the competition level. But we will see. In the last game on the radar, of course, like I said, the game that I'll be participating in this week, my team, the LA Phantoms, will travel down to San Diego to play the Silverbacks, San Diego Silverbacks. The Silverbacks had a slow start this season and in the preseason right now, holding an 0-3 or 0-4 record if you combine the preseason with the games they've played this season. The LA Phantoms had The LA Phantoms had a bad showing in the spring last season. We came out and in the spring season and went 1-4, and the one game came from a forfeit. So a lot of people sleep on the Phantoms, but we've totally rebuilt the program. You know, we've went in recruiting, got guys to come in and buy into the program. So it's going to be a highly competitive game. I feel like, you know, it's really open for either team to come through and get that first win this season. You know, I feel like the Silverbacks is going to try to run the ball. They got some big backs. You know, of course, like I said, I went to the High Desert Phoenix game. They got a big back in the backfield, and then they got a speed back also in the backfield. They got a good quarterback off in, what's the old boy name? Can't think of his name right now. Jacob Nunez. Good quarterback in that guy. So, you know, we gonna try to put the pressure on him quick, you know, so can't too much give y'all all of what I'm going to try to do to them in this game. You know, they watching, of course, you know. So we just going to leave it at that. And that's the weekly matchups. Come Saturday, 8/25/18. It's game day. And after that, that's your weekly matchup. So you know what's going on next. We got to have those predictions. And you know who the predictions by. Let's head over to my man, Mello Davis. Talk to him.
Da-na-na. Here we go. Mello's week 3 predictions. First game up, we got the Phantoms and the Silverbacks. Silverbacks off to an 0-2 start, and they looking kind of slow right now. But I got them putting points on the board. I'm still going to take the Phantom over the Silverbacks. Score for this game, I'm calling somewhere around 22-28 Phantoms. Next game up, we got the Desert Warriors and the SoCal Warriors. I don't know what SoCal cooking up over there, but I know what the Desert Warriors got. I got Desert Warriors 35+ to 22. Next game, we got the Knights and the Phoenix. Blowout. Game of the week, we got the Giants and the Disciples. Both good offensively and defensively, but I got us pulling it out on top. I'm saying 28-18. There we go. Week 3 predictions. I'm out.
And thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next week. Again, it's the host with the most, Coach West. And this is episode 2, week 3 of PCFC. Pac West starts September the 8th. So, hey, those rankings will change. Stay tuned. See y'all next time.